Mott, another player heading to Paul Doherty's great program. Mott working from behind. They really miss DeLargy in these kind of situations. Mott has it checked away. Beautiful defensive play by Mark Coleman.
He's getting that long gun, and he's just really wrapping around with him. That time he just added a little by catching the ball on a fly as it popped out.
Well, here's Mark Coleman, and I think he's going to Delaware. Is that correct?
I believe so, as of right now.
Could be a loose ball there for Tamillo, but alertly they pick it up as Griffith comes back to help from his midfield position. Garden City controlling the game, leading 3-0. 7:40 to go, Paul Doherty. Are you surprised at the way things have gone so far?
Well, I am surprised. I felt that Krause would dominate the faceoffs a little bit more. He hasn't, but I felt that that would be the reason for the domination possibly on offense by Garden City, and that it really hasn't evolved that way.
Well, Ward Melville, as we said, not to make alibis, missing Chris DeLargy, who had 42 assists during the regular year. The leading feeder. Now John Wilkins comes into the ball game. All-county performer. He'll be going to Johns Hopkins next year. Shows you the kind of ability he has going to the national champion. But he's been bothered by a bad ankle and just came back the other day. He's playing about 75% efficiency, but he's got a rocket for a shot. They need offense now. As we watch Tamillo working behind, comes out, gets the shot off, hits the pipe, I believe, or it was hit off a stick.
I think the goalie got
a piece of that.
I think we're going to have a holding penalty against Garden City right here, and it's going to be the first foul of the game. Pick it up here on the replay. It's Pete Bennett. Definitely got a hold in there, impeding the process. But the ball came right up. It looked like Fuller's arm, Doc.
Came off his right arm, and was a great save because he, in that situation, attackman looked to come back at that goalie's weak side, the short side, when he comes off that pipe, and Fuller held it very nicely.
So Bennett, one of their starters and stars on defense, goes off, and it'll be a man-up situation for Ward Melville. They didn't do very well the other night. They scored on a man-down situation, a big goal. They've averaged 38%. We haven't seen very much of Burns, who was such a key factor the other night, scoring 2 goals. Tommy Burns.
Yeah, they've been using that one midfield pretty much on offense with the Kellys.
And now Wilkins on that midfield unit. Here's Tamillo playing outside. It's blocked. Another big defensive play. Number 42 blocking it was Mark Coleman. It'll still be the ball of the Ward Melville Patriots. Was that a 1-minute penalty? I didn't see
30
it.
seconds.
30 seconds.
Barry got him for a hold.
Okay. So we're down to 6:57 to go. Here's Mott working against the big stick of number 44, Mark Burchill.
This is the man they want to take the shot if they can. It's Wilkins.
Well, they've got him closely guarded. Good look in front and a score. So one of the Kelly brothers, Tom Kelly, gets goal number 31. He plays that crease very tough. He's big and strong.
From his brother.
6'2", 185. He comes up with it. A brother act right there.
It's awful crowded in there, but it gets through. You see it right here. He gets a good look. The backside defenseman was too far away from him. And just put it right inside. The goalie had no chance at all on that one.
And we'd like to compliment our crew working from behind that bucket truck behind the goal. Really, Paul Doherty gives you a great look.
It does, and with tonight's win, I'm glad he's up there and not me.
Bring on the donuts.
Nice look here on the face-off.
So they score on a man-up situation, Carl Reuter, and it's now 3-1 on Tom Kelly's 31st goal of the year. Big face-off here. Krause has got it the time, 3:15, and here's Krause. Oh, he lost the ball, and his check by Elfine was all over him. Elfine will move him out as Krause has trouble controlling. Now they'll set it up. Durand working the midfield, number 30. Here's Basile on the right wing as he's working against Kelly. Good matchup there. Good look out in front, and a bounce shot by Krause over the cage, but they had backer support there. And it will be Garden City retaining possession as Mickey Cavoti, who has 11 goals, was the man backing it as we look at Krause coming off, along with Durand. And we'll have substitutions on the part of both clubs. Wilkins comes in now in the midfield for Ward Melville. And who else comes in? Let's see. Looks like they...
Burns is in.
Yep. They've sent Burns in, 22, and Wakey. And Wakey, number 11. So they've got that second unit, rather, on for Ward Melville. Here's Jerry Craig working outside. Thrown away. So Melville will get possession. Garden City are rattling a little bit here. 6:06 to go, in case you're just tuning in. Barry Landers along with Tom Flatley and Paul Doherty, the Adelphi University coach. This is the Long Island Championship quarterfinals of the New York State Tournament. Winner to play the winner of the Yorktown game. That was played earlier today. And, of course, Yorktown, the defending state champ. You saw it last year in the LISM, one of the greatest lacrosse games in recent memory, as they knocked off West Genesee, upsetting West Genesee's 92-game winning streak. West Jenny undefeated this year, and Yorktown's only loss came against these Ward Melville Patriots, who now have the ball. Now Russell finds the open man, and as they move across, this is Wakey who lost it. Recovered. They go to the second midfield unit. Look for Burns, 22. He's the guy who scored the 2 goals the other day. He sets up in the crease now. As making move, Wilkins, good move, bounce hits the pipe. Oh, great move by Wilkins to get open.
Nice stutter step. Here's a fast break for Garden City.
Garden City, 4-on-3. Moving in, Sullivan, nice look. Oh, and Basile, who rarely loses the ball, lost it there. Elfine with a big stick to Wilkins. Wilkins check, but gets it a feed, and it's knocked down. Tamillo couldn't get it. Oh, look at the hitting going on right now as the crowd gets into it.
That was the goalie out covering one-on-one. Fuller took a gutsy chance there and got away with it.
End-to-end action as it's scooped up by Russell, 23. He looks for the open man, and he finds him. Here's the dangerous Wakey down the right wing. Now they look to set it up. Wakey, watched by Burchill on that far side. Now they swing it behind to Mott. Looking for an open man. Got Tamillo, and it was thrown over the head of Tamillo. Both clubs missing opportunities. 4:38 to go, second quarter. And Ward Melville trailing 3-1. These clubs are high-scoring clubs. Garden City averages over 11 goals a game. And Ward Melville over 13 a game.
Barry Tamillo just came off. He's hurting. I think in that collision with the goalie on that scrambled situation before, he got hurt.
And we get a shot of him on the sideline as he goes to the bench, and they're going to take a look at him. All right, so here we go right now as they move it upfield. This is the dangerous Kraus. Checked by Kelly, but he's got the speed to move on Kelly. Looking for an open man. He has Hiller in the crease. Decides to weave it around.
Got a flag, Barry. I think Ward Melville was offside too.
Late penalty on Ward Melville. Basile's got it now. We get the call made. Is it going to be a timeout?
There was a timeout.
It's a timeout for Garden City, as Doc Doherty will call it, and I do believe the call will be made. The official's conferring now, and let's wait for the official call. You've got an illegal substitution.
Legal procedure here.
It's an illegal substitution on the sideline. In that play when Tamillo came out injured, Ward Melville put a long stick in to ride.
All right, let's see if we can join Doc Doherty now in the Garden City huddle right here.
You got to pull the ball out. And if the other thing is, if you start to suck wind with these, you got to sub on the fly. Don't be afraid to come out, get the ball behind, and sub on the fly. All right, if you get caught in a long transition. All right? Hey, John, you're doing a fine job. Just keep right in there. All right?
Hey, Johnny.
All right, let's go. Keep it going. Let's go.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Jim Turnbull, the coach of Yorktown, has come down to scout this game, gentlemen. They played this afternoon. Of course, they'll play the winner of this game, and right now, Doc Doherty's club enjoying a 3-1 lead. Paul, they were on the losing end of that game against Farmingdale. Then in the third quarter, they kind of turned things around. Of course, the big goals by Griffith, and that was the story. But let's look at, as we mentioned earlier, Garden City's last victory in '66. What are they doing much better tonight, Garden City, than they did against Farmingdale, Paul?
I think they have better off-ball movement. They have a better scheme of offense in a 6-on-6 situation. They've done a terrific job with their cutters and moving people around, cutting a man through, replacing him with a wingman, and it's created a little bit of havoc on those cutters in the Ward Melville zone.
The only thing that's hurt them tonight, Paul, has been some passes they've thrown away without a lot of pressure on them. They've turned the ball over on a couple of occasions.
Well, it just occurred to me a few minutes ago that we've seen more turnovers tonight on a dry night than we saw on the wet night the other night.
Interesting point. So these clubs, of course, have never faced each other. The two programs have never played even a scrimmage, we understand.
Garden City's a man up here, Barry, and they're in a 3-3 set, which is their favorite set.
All right, Garden City's man up has come on of late. Really been playing well in the playoffs. Basile, nice look out in front of the score. Cutting right through. Hiller off the feed from Basile, and how often have you seen that happen? And Hiller gets goal number 80, and Basile and Hiller doing it all tonight. Second assist for Basile, and he now has 94 as he moves up on the standings. And there's the man of the hour, Scott Hiller, as he scores off the feed from Basile.
He just went behind, and Hiller just timed his cut perfectly and hit the seam. Ward Melville, I'm sure, was coached to be very aware of where he was. If Cross can come up with a face-off here and Garden City can get another one, it'll be a tremendous boost for him.
Time of Scott Hiller's 80th goal of the year, 5:58 to make it 4-1, a man-up goal. And that is a very important one because it merely made them pay for that technical violation, really. That was a costly mistake on the part of Ward Melville.
Kraus got the ball right back to the open man, right off the draw, right behind him with it.
And here's Kraus getting by Tom Kelly on the run. Back it'll go. Great look in front for Hiller. And he scores. Basile finding Hiller again. What ball movement by the Trojans of Garden City as they open up a 5-1 lead.
Barry, that was a classic. Ward Melville's taking a timeout because their heads are spinning, but that ball was 4 or 5 perfect passes right in. Hiller threw it right full speed over his shoulder right behind the goalie's ear.
What a huddle that is right now. They're enjoying it on the near side. The Garden City fans. We'll take a look at that beauty right here.
You see some fine ball movement here. Colleges can't move it any better than this, I don't think, Doc. Kraus coming in, gets the ball right over to Sullivan. Bang and bang, right there. Hiller felt the goalie coming up. One thing Doc Doherty's always said about Brian Sullivan, he says he has more second assists probably than anybody in the county, which means he's the guy that starts the play before the final one. And we don't, many times in lacrosse, we don't give enough credit to people like Kraus and Sullivan who really made that play.
All right, Paul, you see Doc Doherty in his huddle, Joe Cuso in his. What do you try to tell your kids now? 9-time county champions. They've been in this Long Island Championship game 4 years in a row, and right now they're on the verge of some real big trouble, trailing 5-1 and having to go up against the face-off man who's so dominant in Kraus.
I think what he has to do now is get them to just calm down a little bit, take it one at a time, and not be too anxious when they get the ball again. They need to have a little bit of poise and patience.
Hiller scores 2 goals within 16 seconds, and the time of the 2 goals that he scored, 5:58 and 6:44. That came after Ward Melville. 6:14, I beg your pardon. That came after Ward Melville. It came back to make it 3-1. Let's watch this face-off. Kelly against Kraus. Let's watch the technique, gentlemen. And here's Kraus coming up with it again. Open, Basile. Back to Kraus. It's off of him.
Basile made the right move there because they really didn't slide. They left Kraus open.
And on the far side, Kelly trying to pick it up, Tom Kelly, but he lost it. Out of bounds.
So you might wonder how Kraus gets away with some of the things like this, but his wingmen make calls. And if they're covered, they'll make a color call, and Kraus will take the ball himself. If he's open, if they're open, it'll be another color, and Kraus will just try to drag the ball to their area.
No, you could not fault the goalie, Kempton, on some of the goals. They've been so beautifully designed. And Griffith with a shot. Kempton makes the stop.
Elfline got a nice check on a distance and shot that time. Griff didn't get much on the ball.
And they'll try to clear it and get something going on the attack. Tom Byrne, number 3, the defenseman back there. 3 minutes to go. Second quarter. Ward Melville trailing Garden City in a stunner, 5-1. Talked about it being another 1-goal game. Still plenty of time, but how about the ride right now? Byrne can't find an open
Garden
man.
City's just pulled all 6 men, packed around the midfield, and the defensemen are out of it.
Now Elfine across midfield. He looking for a potential pass. He'll come back.
Garden City's just sliding back and forth across the field.
Byrne swings it to the right wing to Kelly. There's Tom Kelly, number 10, down the right wing, far side.
That's the kind of patience that Ward Melville needs to exhibit right now. They can't get rattled and try to push things too quickly.
Mott, who has really been cut off, working against Griffith. They'll bring it out on top. Now Riley goes behind as Mott works one-on-one against Griffith. Griffith cuts him off. Back it will go to Kelly, to Chip Mayer. Miller playing outside. So they moved a lot of the attackmen outside. They're playing on wings, Paul.
They have at this point, and it has not been successful to date. I think there's an awful lot of standing around on offense there.
Kelly shot blocked, and Andy Kraus picks it up. What a factor Kraus has been in this game. He'll swing it across. He wins about 75% of his faceoffs, and he'll be back next year for Garden City. What a great year it's been for Garden City in football and, of course, in lacrosse, too. Here's Mark Coleman moving in with the big stick. He has it checked. Oh, look at Basile around the cage. Score! A scrambled situation. They couldn't pick the ball up. Kempton couldn't get his stick on it. And Paul Basile having the night of his life.
I don't know if it was Basile or Hiller, but it was a basic street hockey goal. But when things are going right, those are the kind you get. Pick it up here out of the scramble, and the ball is loose.
Well, either one of those guys were right there. Let's watch on the replay and see if we can pick it up.
Nice check on Coleman. Ball goes loose right in here, and Ward Melville can't pick it up. Right, that's Basile right there with his stick. You can't tell.
I It looked like Basile, but they're going to check out officially. Carl's going to check with the official score. It looked like both players were right there. From our view, from that angle, we weren't sure. All right, it might have been Hiller or Basile. Nevertheless, the important fact is for Garden City, they hold a commanding 6-1 lead here. And after that face-off, however, a violation called, and Wilkins will put it in play. They've got to get some leadership from the Wilkins right now. They need something here before the half ends.
The ball needs to be moved a little bit more in the air. There's an awful lot of one-on-one, and that hasn't characterized this team all year.
You've seen Ward Melville play several times because you've scouted 3 of their players will be going to Adelphi next year. And here's one of them, Mott. And he has not been a factor tonight. Mark Tamillo will be going to North Carolina. Good look that time, but a little bit over the head of Wakey, who is moving in. So that goal will be given to Hiller. Scott Hiller gets credit for the goal. His 3rd of the game. He now has 82 goals. And, of course, 82 goals gives him a 1-goal edge on Heim. He's now 4th in the all-time list for goals in a season, one behind Pete Worstel, who had 83. Another Garden City player.
Barry Jack Knight from Manhasset was one of the finest lacrosse players I've ever seen. He played in the days when 16 games or 14 games was a long season.
That's a good point. Here again is Basile. Working, penalty, shoots and he scores! Oh, Basile and Garden City doing everything right. 7-1. Joe Cuso and Bill Martens can't believe it as their club is getting blown out. They had the second midfield unit out there at that time, and they paid the price.
And there's going to be a 1-minute penalty for a slash on Elfline. You'll see here that Basile just gets 1 step here.
That's
Stick
Russell.
gets behind him. Russell can't handle it right here.
And then Elfine comes
He's got
over.
a bad position. Basile just put that shot too. He just got in close. There was no backup in the zone. That's very, very unusual.
And a 1-minute slashing penalty on top of that. So Garden City with a commanding 7-1 lead over the Suffolk County champion Ward Melville. Last year, of course, Melville lost to Manhasset. Paul Basile gets his 2nd goal of the game at 9:13 to make it 7-1. What a quarter it's been. They have scored 4 unanswered goals after the score was cut to 3-1. And Garden City with a man up for the next 47 seconds plus.
Face-off is very big right here now, Barry. Ward Melville's got to come up with the ball.
Kelly battling, but again, it's Krause who comes up and raked it back to Griffin. And Garden City calls timeout, and Doc Darty will want to talk it over. It's strange how momentum swings. Here's Garden City, Paul Darty, just about a minute away from elimination against Farmingdale. Looked like they were out of the picture. They come up dramatically with the overtime win and come out tonight putting on a clinic here.
They're on a tremendous roll right now, and it seems like everything that Ward Melville does is a day late and a dollar short at this point. They're making the right moves. They're getting there 1 step too late.
Now let's look at the huddle of Joe Cuso, calm and cool. Let's check in.
Play as hard as you can. Come on, White. Because we've got a lot of time. The game is not over by a long shot.
Let's do it.
Garden City run that same play, do you think, Doc? Last time it was a 3-3. Basil behind, looking for Hiller.
They brought Hiller across the gut there, and he did a great job getting open, and the ball was threaded right in there.
Garden City will feed Scott Hiller from the front many times, and he's got freedom to roam in there.
4 goals within a 3-minute, 15-second span have given Garden City a 6-goal lead. We're down to 39 seconds to go. Should Garden City retain possession, of course, even though they don't score, they will still have the ball to begin the second half. So it's a very important possession here, even if they don't score. But the way Krause wins face-offs, it's almost academic.
Nice thing playing in the stadium, too, is you know how much time is left. It's right on the scoreboard, and with 5 seconds to go, you hold it.
And it's in the direction they're going, so they can look directly up there and see it. Here's Hiller playing out front. Now he'll cut to the crease. Let's see, they'll work it to Basile. He'll probably look for Hiller. Throws it back behind. Duran, back he gets it. Duran comes in and scores! Billy Duran again, great movement. Matt Elfine left standing watching the play as Duran got the pass back and put it home.
They had 1 man hung up between 2, and Krause just took 1 step, threw the man, and got it to Duran, who came around. So far, tonight, there's been 3 penalties and 3 extra man goals by both teams.
Time of that goal be 9:41. Billy Duran's goal right here. Let's look. Krause with a good look to Duran there, Paul.
Well, at this point, I'm sure that Joe Cuso is looking for the proper thing to say to his team or to turn this momentum around. And I'm not sure I have any advice for him at this point. It's just going in Garden City's direction every single play.
He's covering the wings on this face-off now, Barry.
Which means he'll probably go for the fast break.
Krause will probably try to take him himself.
Durant, who's going to Delaware's 37th goal of the year, the 5'10 senior. And finally, Wilkins comes up with it. 12 seconds to go. Wilkins on that bad ankle. Swings it across. 8 seconds, 7. Here's Kelly. Back to Wilkins. He'll rifle it. Blocked. And that should do it. 2 seconds. 1 as the first half comes to an end. And the Garden City fans just below us on their feet. Maybe they can't believe it. Maybe a lot of people can't believe it. But the story is it's been all Trojans. They lead the Patriots 8-1 in this Long Island Championship game on the far side. The Ward Melville fans stunned, and that'll do it. I'll be back to chat with the athletic directors from both schools, Bob Allen and Jack Foley, in just a moment. You're watching the Long Island Sports Network.
Hi, everybody. I'm Barry Landers with Jerry McDougall, president of Apple Bank. You know, Jerry, you and I share something more than just this basketball. We share our concern and interest in Long Island youth.
No question about it, Barry. We at Apple Bank feel very much a part of the Long Island community. And as such, we want to show our support for these young people who are not only the future of Long Island, but we think the future of our country.
Apple Bank for Savings with 5 Long Island locations in Manhasset, Syosset, East Massapequa, Greenlawn, and Smithtown. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Scott Miller, inviting you to spend the middle of your day with me. We'll share some coffee break concerts and get the latest dope on the soaps. I'll turn your lunch hour to gold with the midday special and make you a dinner winner with the 106 song. And as always, maximum music and maximum prizes. Join me weekdays from 10 to 3 for Miller Time on WBLI.
WBLI, FM 106, Long Island's best radio.
Maximum music, WBLI.
At halftime at Hofstra University, I'm Barry Landers with Jack Foley, the athletic director at Ward Melville High School, and Bob Allen from Garden City. And right now it's been all Garden City, Jack Foley, 8-1. Ward Melville's not been in this position for a long time.
Yes, we've come back and had some great comebacks on this field in previous years, but we're digging ourselves a big hole. I shouldn't say we're digging ourselves a big hole. Garden City is playing outrageously. Their defense is great. This kid Krause on the face-offs is unbelievable. They're passing on the offensive end of the field. They're just playing a super, super game.
All right, Jack, let's talk a little bit about Ward Melville Athletics. What kind of year has it been overall?
Ward Melville's had a very competitive, good year. Our lacrosse program, of course, has been a highlight of the year for us. Our other teams have done well. We've had several playoff teams. We've been very satisfied with the year. Last year was a truly outstanding year. That's tough to duplicate, but we're very satisfied with the year. We have a really good group of kids in the program. We're very proud of them.
One of the things that's impressive about both schools, Garden City and Ward Melville, is the wide variety of sports that both schools offer. And I know you and Bob Allen go back a long way. You're involved with junior high school committees as well.
Right. Bob and I have been with the junior high committee for nearly 20 years. Bob is our football chairman for the state, with the modified program, or junior high program, as well as the Section 8 representative. We know we have the safest game in the world as far as football is concerned. We have the lack of injury statistics to prove it. And it's just a super program, and we're very proud of it.
Jack, I'm not going to ask you about Section 11's feelings. There's been a lot of talk, of course, about whether they're going to be seceded from as far as state tournaments are concerned. But I want to talk with Bob Allen for a moment, if you will. Bob, I know for a long time there's been talk about football playoffs between Nassau and Suffolk. Garden City's had a great tradition. Ward Melville, a fine tradition in football. Will we see it happen someday?
Well, I hope so, because it's a natural, Barry. It's a natural... Because actually we're a state. We're not Long Island. We're 2 million people here, you know, and over 100 high schools. It's a natural for the two counties to play someday, I hope.
Bob, there's a little bit of a smile and a crease on your face as you look up at the scoreboard out there. Your club's leading 8-1. Dramatic victory the other night. It's been 19 years between county championships, and your club just playing super, as Jack Foley mentioned.
Well, we got a great bunch of kids, Barry, and our coaching staff is outstanding, but we still have to play a second half, and we can remember back here a couple of years ago when Farmingdale was doing a job on Melville, and then Melville come back and beat them. So this game is far from over, and if you follow the game of lacrosse, you know that.
Great crowd here on hand, and I know you get tremendous community support from Garden City. You've had outstanding years in a couple of other sports, too.
Well, this year, Barry, we won the County Field Hockey Championship. We won the County Lacrosse Championship. We won the Golf Championship. We won our conference in girls track and boys track. We won our conference in football and our division in basketball. So it's been a good year. We're blessed. We got some great kids with a great tradition.
Well, Bob, I want to thank you and the folks at Garden City and for the folks at Ward Melville and Jack Foley especially. We've been at this game, the Long Island Sports Network, for some 5 years. Without both of your support, we wouldn't have been able to do what we've had to do.
Happy to do it, Barry.
Happy to do it. Thank you very much for having us on.
All right, my guests, Jack Foley and Bob Allen, the athletic directors at Ward Melville and Garden City. Their two clubs, fine gentlemen on both teams, meeting head-to-head here in the championship. And right now, it's Garden City leading 8-1. We'll be back with the second half in a moment. You're watching the Long Island Sports Network.
Hi, everybody. I'm Barry Landers with Jerry McDougall, president of Apple Bank. You know, Jerry, you and I share something more than just this basketball. We share our concern and interest in Long Island youth.
No question about it, Barry. We at Apple Bank feel very much a part of the Long Island community. And as such, we want to show our support for these young people who are not only the future of Long Island, but we think the future of our country.
Apple Bank for Savings with 5 Long Island locations in Manhasset, Syosset, East Massapequa, Greenlawn, and Smithtown. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Scott Miller, inviting you to spend the middle of your day with me. We'll share some coffee break concerts and get the latest dope on the soaps. I'll turn your lunch hour to gold with a midday special and make you a dinner winner with the 106 song. And as always, maximum music and maximum prizes. Join me weekdays from 10 to 3 for Miller Time on WBLI.
WBLI, FM 106, Long Island's best radio.
Maximum music, WBLI.
International Tchaikovsky Competition finalist and Beethoven Foundation fellow Jonathan Shames for Kiwanis International.
It wasn't just the touch of my hands that prompted Tchaikovsky competition judges to choose me as a finalist in Moscow. Through sheer force of will and years of study, I was able to compete against the world's best pianists. You can help others less fortunate and build better lives for underprivileged children through voluntary involvement. Ask your local Kiwanis club how you can help.
Both clubs are back in the field as we get ready for the second half. Let's take a look at some of the halftime statistics, and you can see the statistics reveal the Trojans' big lead. They've had 17-9 shots. They've dominated 11 face-offs. They've won 8, and they have dominated the game. Looking at the scoring, Basile, who all told has 3 goals, rather 2 goals, and Hiller has 3. Got the early scoring. Then there was Basile, Craig, and Kraus, the early scoring, and then it was all Garden City. As you can see, they scored 5 unanswered goals after Kelly made it 3-1. Hiller with his natural hat trick, then Basile and Duran. Gentlemen, it's an 8-1 game. Has to be a shocker for the lacrosse aficionados, the so-called experts. Tom Flatley, you look right now at Joe Kuzer. You know Joe well. What has he told his kids at halftime? What would you tell your kids down 8-1 coming off a championship season?
Well, you just remember you got 20 minutes left of the season, and after that you can turn the gear in. But you remind them you're 20-0, you've played some tough teams, and you've scored 10 goals and a half many times. And you want to set a goal like, let's go out and win this quarter by 3 goals. Maybe get them rattled and we'll take them in the 4th.
All right. On the other hand, Paul Doherty, Doc Doherty, you know your namesake over there, Garden City. He's got the lead. What do you tell your kids to not be ward off a possible letdown?
You've got to tell them to bear down at this point. That he has to remind them of Ward Melville's record again. That this is an outstanding team. They, as a matter of fact, came back after a flat spot against Smithtown East and won the game under pressure.
All right, ready for the face-off. Kraus, 21, will draw here. I can't see the player. Is it Kelly or is it Wilkins?
I think Wilkins. I think I see him down on attack. I could be wrong, but I think they put him on attack for this half.
Skewed here. Let's see if we can pick it up. It is Kelly. And Wilkins, or rather, and it is Kraus winning it again. So they dominated 9 of the 12 face-offs. Garden City